Street. The Antioch Bridge right now, we've got some one-way traffic control, 160 both north and southbound. Between the toll plaza and the north end of the span, that's going on until 2 o'clock for some bridge inspection work in the northbound direction. Right now, a 1-minute backup. Checking Bay Area weather, no need for the umbrella today. Sunny mix of few clouds. It feels a little like spring. Our high today, 54 at the coast, 57 in Oakland, 64 in Inland. With Bay Area traffic and weather, Jasmine Summers on the Black Information Network.
Black news all day, every day.
The power of information.
The Bay Area BIN 910.
I'm Natasha Williams.
And I'm Bree Wood on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
The day 11 side. Look at the day 11 side. One extra push every day for an entire year again.
One of the many TikTok videos that will now be restricted in Utah. The hours of scrolling mindlessly through pages and pages of TikTok videos is now a thing of the past for minors in the Beehive State. Governor Spencer Cox has signed a landmark bill that requires parents to give permission for teenagers to get social media accounts. The first in the nation law Cox signed on Thursday will also impose a digital curfew, blocking sites for minors past 10:30 p.m. It will also black out ads for underage accounts and compel social media companies to allow parents to access their child's profiles. Lawmakers say the bill is vital to protect a generation of kids suffering from a mental health crisis. Critics level concerns of safety and privacy and say many of the guidelines are too hard to enforce.
A Charlotte, North Carolina man has finally got his nearly $40,000 back more than 2.5 years after Phoenix, Arizona police illegally seized it. African-American Jerry Johnson, who owns a shipping company, had flown from the Queen City in August 2020 to purchase a third semi-truck to expand his small business. Johnson said he found the ad for the semi on a Phoenix auction site and took the money with him needed to buy the truck. But before he could get his luggage, he was surrounded by police at the airport and told if he didn't sign a document forfeiting the money, he was going to jail. He did, and finally, after a lengthy court battle, his money was returned. The Institute for Justice, who helped him get his money back, says the state of Arizona owes him for the injustice that took years to resolve.
A new research project hopes to shed light on racial inequities by exploring the history of 5 issues often at the center of disparity: housing, education, criminal justice, health, and economics.
For decades, we have been talking about all the health disparities, the structural systemic inequities that exist in our communities that unfortunately always emerge in moments of crisis.
Uncovering Inequality is a project launched by Jelani Cobb, dean of the journalism program at Columbia University in New York. The findings of the study were released Monday and were discussed at a symposium at the school and live streamed on social media. Researchers found disparities have been built into American systems.
And African-American Mandy Bowman is changing the game for many black businesses. Bowman is the founder and CEO of Official Black Wall Street, and her app is now the fastest-growing platform for finding and supporting black-owned businesses in the United States. Bowman tells Black Enterprise that her app has already recirculated about $10 million in sales and business services back into black-owned businesses. Since its launch, the original Black Wall Street app has become an essential tool in promoting economic growth and equity in black and brown communities. Bowman says her app is helping to level the playing field and create new opportunities for black entrepreneurs. She says she is not done. Her goal is to expand her services to 10 other countries, including Canada, South Africa, France, UK, and the Netherlands.
For more on international, national, state, and local news impacting the black community, listen to the Black Information Network on the iHeartRadio app or log on to BINnews.com. I'm Natasha Williams, along with Bree Wood on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Black journalism at work.
Because truth matters.
The Bay Area's BIN 910. Your money on the Black Information Network.
Did you know if you are experiencing a financial hardship, you can temporarily stop making your mortgage payments? To be clear, you do have to communicate with your lender and discuss your options before you stop making payments. Depending on your financial situation, you can ask your lender for a reduced payment or lower interest rate, a skip a payment, forbearance, or deferment. Keep in mind, these are all temporary fixes to alleviate short-term financial stress for 1 to 6 months. In many instances, these options could have a negative impact on your credit score, so be sure to ask your lender about that. But however it is being reported, it is far better than multiple late payments on your credit or a foreclosure. I don't have time to give you all the tea, but I can give you a few sips at a time. These are the words and phrases you want to remember. Skip a pay, modify payment, forbearance, and deferment. Be sure to ask your lender if interest will continue to accrue during the time you are not making payments, because most likely it will. Funny news at 54 minutes past each hour. I'm Nicole Deal on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
You need to know.
This is where Black news comes
The
from.
Bay Area's BIN 910.
Police reported ahead.
I'm Natasha Williams on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
The family of Ivo Otieno, the 28-year-old man who suffocated while in police custody, is calling on Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin, as well as national and local lawmakers, to make changes in the way people with mental health issues are treated. The family's attorney, Ben Crump, spoke on their behalf.
Let's have Ivo's law. If that video isn't enough to motivate you all to do something, God knows what we would have to do to protect those who suffer from mental health.
In related news, 10 people are now charged in Ivo Otieno's death in Virginia, but the prosecutor says one bears the most responsibility. Henrico County Sergeant Kyle Sanders was recently in court for a bond hearing. Dinwiddie County Commonwealth's attorney Ann Baskerville told the judge Sanders is the most culpable of any of the suspects because he outranks the others. Sanders is a sergeant, but the other 6 sheriff's office employees charged with second-degree murder are just deputies. The judge granted bond, but also denied Sanders' motion to allow him to request a second autopsy on Otieno's body.
North Carolina's plan for Medicaid expansion is now in the hands of the governor. The measure recently received its final approval in the General Assembly after a decade-long battle. The bill will provide health insurance coverage to an additional 600,000 working residents. Governor Roy Cooper is expected to sign the legislation within the next week or so, making the state the 40th to expand Medicaid. Elsewhere, Tennessee and the Thurgood Marshall College Fund have announced their 5th class of Tennessee Fellows. Black Information Network's Ray Harris.
The Tennessee Fellows Program was designed to give students attending historically black colleges and universities the opportunity to have a head start in becoming leaders of tomorrow. With African American fellows who were selected representing Morgan State, Howard, North Carolina A&T, Savannah State, Florida A&M, Southern State, Northern Atlanta University. Each Tennessee fellow will receive a scholarship up to $20,000 per academic year, a $10,000 stipend for other educational expenses, and the chance to mentor community-related projects in order to earn a grant.
Police reported ahead.
On the Black Information Network.
I'm Bree Wood, along with Natasha Williams on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com. Now here's Mike Moore with your Washington Roundup.
The Biden administration is asking Congress to provide more than $7 billion in aid to 3 Pacific Island countries as the U.S. and China compete to influence the region. The money would provide economic assistance over the next 20 years to the Marshall Islands, Palau, and the Federated States of Micronesia. The aid request comes as the administration is in talks to renew contracts that require the U.S. to provide for the island's defense, while giving exclusive access to huge swaths of the Pacific Ocean. Now to President Biden, who is getting ready to hit the road to tout his economic achievements and plans. The White House announced recently that Biden will start what the administration is calling his Investing in America tour. He and other administration officials will cover more than 20 states over the next 3 weeks, highlighting his economic agenda and investments. And that's your Washington Roundup. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network at BINnews.com.
The Bay Area's BIN 910 is powered in partnership with Direct Relief and Chevy. Thank you for partnering with a purpose on the Black Information Network.
Stretching from West 82nd to West 89th Street, Seneca Village was an African-American enclave that flourished. Home to 225 residents in 1855 with a population roughly 2/3 African-American. Seneca Village offered a serene landscape away from the urbanized scenery of downtown Manhattan. For 32 years, it served as a safe haven for African-Americans and fostered a tight-knit community. Approximately half the African-American population owned their own home in the village and with it the right to vote. But by 1853, the New York legislature enacted a law that would erase the area for the creation of Central Park. Eminent domain would be used to acquire the land, and while owners were compensated, many believed their land was undervalued. To justify its destruction, a racist smear campaign targeted the community, portraying it
chance you like housing. However, historical records and excavated artifacts have uncovered the rich history that was once Seneca Village. And that's a fact. I'm Ashley Young on the Black Information Network.
I'm Terry McCready.
And I'm Kevin Brown on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Civil rights attorney Ben Crump is representing the family of the victim of a fatal crowd surge at an Armory concert in New York. 35-year-old Aisha Haskins Stevens was killed, along with 33-year-old Rondisha Belton and 35-year-old Brandy Miller earlier this month at the Glorilla and Finesse 2x event in Rochester. Crump says Haskins Stevens' death could have been avoided with proper safety measures and says it's disturbing following the tragic crowd stampede at the Astroworld Festival that more precautions are not being taken at concert venues. Crump says he joins Haskins Stevens' family in calling for transparency from Main Street Armory,
Another atmospheric river brought heavy rain, snow, and strong winds, knocking out power for some 90,000 customers, mainly in the Bay Area. Millions of people are under flood watches as a tornado was confirmed near Los Angeles, where several structures were damaged.
Washington lawmakers Senator Marco Rubio and Representative Gus Villariakis, both Florida Republicans, have requested information from HCA Healthcare about conditions and practices at its Bayonet Point Hospital in Hudson, Florida. This comes after a report by NBC News last month detailing extensive deficiencies at the facility. The report looks at an increase in patient safety events at Bayonet Point, a disorganized anesthesiology department, dirty infrastructure, and cockroaches in an operating room. HCA, the nation's largest hospital company, is disputing reports that the unsafe practices and conditions at the 290-bed acute care facility were a result of HCA placing profits over patient care.
Zimbabwe is awarding a 100% pay increase to civil servants as part of its effort to improve the welfare of its workers. The Finance and Economic Development Ministry says teachers will receive an additional $80 a month. Teachers are also entitled to free public elementary school education for up to 3 children. Officials say the bonuses are within budget and at sustainable levels.
Nigeria is rich in energy reserves, but more than 92 million people in the region are without access to electricity. The International Energy Agency says those who are connected to the electricity grid face frequent power cuts, costing the region $28 billion annually, leaving many Nigerians to rely on petrol and diesel to fuel generators for their homes and businesses. Entrepreneur Olubenga Olubenjo is offering an alternative with his company Ready, which rents out small, lightweight, solar-powered batteries called Ready capsules that power things like televisions and refrigerators. The capsules can be purchased along with a solar panel for about $400 or rented from local stores at just 50 cents for 24 hours. For more on these stories and international, national, state, and local news affecting the Black community, listen to the Black Information Network on the iHeartRadio app or log on to BINnews.com. I'm Terry McCready along with Kevin Brown on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Time now for traffic and weather.
On the Bay Area's BIN 910.
Heavy traffic in Vallejo, stop and go 37 westbound from Mare Island Bridge to pass the lane merge. There is a delay there in the Antioch Bridge, one-way traffic control, 160 both directions between the toll plaza and the north end of the spa. A 2-minute jam there. Now that's because of that construction work that's going on until about 2 o'clock. So it's one-way traffic control in the southbound lane, and there's bridge inspection in the northbound direction as well. So Olima, you are reduced to one lane there, one both north and southbound between Sir Francis Drake Boulevard and the Olima Cemetery. 1 minute back up there. That work going on until 5 o'clock. Checking Bay Area weather, mostly sunny today. A few clouds. Feels like spring with highs 64 inland, 57 in Oakland, and 54 at the coast, falling to the mid to upper 30s tonight. With Bay Area traffic and weather, Jasmine Summers on the Black Information Network.
The power of information.
Black news here and now.
The Bay Area's BIN 910.
I'm Esther Dillard on your home for 24/7 News, San Francisco's BIN 910. The former CEO of failed Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank are being called to testify before Congress. The Senate Banking Committee wants answers about what led to the bank's failures. The The two executives indicated they won't attend a March 28th hearing, but lawmakers urged them to testify before the panel at a later date. In California, hundreds of middle and high school teachers marched and chanted outside of Oakland City Hall during a demonstration over contract negotiations with the school district. NBC Bay Area reports teachers are frustrated that contract negotiations have been going on since October. Teachers tell the station there's a big gap between what the teachers want and what the district is proposing. The station reports teachers are concerned about class size, possible school closures, and mergers. Vanessa Brooks is a black grandmother who came out to support.
For me, as a grandparent, and as kids that came up through Oakland schools, I support the fact that we got to pay our teachers. They're supporting our students.
Teachers accuse OUSD of bargaining in bad faith because of canceled meetings and failure to address the union's proposals. That's the sound of construction workers fixing the areas of 3rd Street Bridge at McCovey Cove in San Francisco. 60-foot deck barges were adrift, colliding with the bridge after recent storms and high winds caused them to break free. The area was closed to boats. Officials say they are assessing the damage to the walkways on the bridge that took the bulk of the damage.
You see that it's very badly buckled there. A couple of the steel beams that are supporting just that sidewalk portion got crunched by the barges and bent.
The U.S. Coast Guard is responding to many navigation hazards created by the recent storms. Several docks with vessels, still moored to them, broke loose and were adrift in the Oakland estuary area. Former Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti has been sworn in as the U.S. ambassador to India. Vice President Kamala Harris led the swearing-in ceremony in Washington, D.C. The U.S. Senate recently confirmed Garcetti's nomination nearly 2 years after President Biden picked him for the position. Biden then renominated him in January after the confirmation process stalled. California is lifting some water restrictions as drought conditions dramatically improve this winter. California is increasing the deliveries in the state water project to 75% and removing some restrictions. California Governor Gavin Newsom says the state is still in an underground water deficit and there are still drought issues with the Colorado River. That means some other restrictions will remain in place, including outdoor watering at commercial buildings. And finally, the Oakland Zoo is on the hunt for 3 exotic birds. 6 escaped when heavy winds sent a large tree crashing down on their aviary. Workers found 3 birds, including an endangered African hooded vulture. I'm Esther Dillard on your home for 24/7 News, San Francisco's BIN 910.
Looking for ways to support your community? The United Negro College Fund is one of the nation's leading advocates for the importance of minority education and community engagement. Lend your support at uncs.org.
The power of information.
Black news here and now.
The Bay Area's BIN 910.
A special thank you to Lowe's Home Improvement.
A proud founding partner who shares and supports the mission of the Black Information Network.
I'm Bill Black with another Bet You Didn't Know music fact. We all know this song. That's Marvin Gaye's What's Going On, recorded in 1970. It's a song about war, racism, and things African Americans were going through at that time. Now on background vocals of this song were legendary Detroit Lions Slim Berry and Mel Farr. After he recorded the song, Gaye told Berry and Farr he wanted to try out for the Detroit Lions. Because Lions coach Jim Schmidt was a fan of Marvin, he agreed to take the meeting, but when he found out he had never played football, not even in high school, he said no to a tryout. So even though Marvin never got to give us classic football moves, he left us with a legacy of songs. I'm Bill Black, and that's another Bet You Didn't Know music fact on the Black Information Network.
Honoring the women whose contributions shaped this country.
Here was the first real crack in the wall of segregation education.
And change the world. We have to keep talking to voters who don't see themselves in the electorate, who don't hear their issues discussed by candidates until the last few days. Thanks for celebrating Women's History